You want to be in the movie? Want to be in the video? Come here. Okay, come here. All right, sit down. Sit. Stay. So, once again, just to go over 2 pounds of chicken. Okay guys, welcome back to Our World Outdoors. I'm Tony, and today we're doing a requested dehydrating video. This one was requested by Kevin Fry. He actually came at me and said, can we do this recipe? I would really like to see it get done. And I said, let's run with it. Let's see what we can do. So we've got it figured out now. This variation is a little different from what you would be making if you're going for the flavor. This is going to be bourbon chicken with rice when it's all done. So let me get you caught up to speed to where we're at now. You want to start off, we're making this for 4 servings. Okay, so you got to double this recipe if you want to make it bigger. It's just what we're making it at. So what we do is we start with 2 pounds of raw chicken. Now you can go 2 pounds of canned chicken. It's already cooked to make this a lot faster. We don't like the processed canned chicken as much, so we start out with chicken breast. So you take 2 pounds of chicken breast, raw. Cook them in a crock pot or boiling water. That way they're soft, they break down easy. You break them up with your hands and drop them into a blender or food processor and grate it up until they're nice and small. The smaller the better, because this is going to make it dehydrate easier, but the big thing is it's going to be soft when you rehydrate it. Alright, it's going to be perfect. It's going to rehydrate fast. You can even cold soak this. Alright, so that's what it looks like at that point. Then we want to get it to this point. Now this is where it gets a little trickier. When we dehydrate foods, they lose a lot of their seasoning, a lot of their flavor. So we got to go heavy. So what we did was we went with the honey bourbon from Lowry's. I used 1/3 of a bottle for 2 pounds. Then we mixed in the Grill Master brown sugar bourbon powder mix into it. Now at this point, you pretty much got your flavor. You're all right. But we want to take it a little bit farther. Now what I would normally tell you is because of the powder mix, you need to add just a little bit of water. But instead of that, what we recommend is if you've got some bourbon, which is how I'm sure Kevin will do it, you add 1/8 of a cup. 1/8 of a cup of bourbon to it. We don't use bourbon in our house. And though I'm sure some of you know what this is, we use moonshine. So I have put 1/8 of a cup of moonshine in this, stirred it up real good, and I mean real good because this powder mix has to be stirred up, stirred into it. And then we put it in the fridge for 24 hours. No longer than that. Alright? But what the alcohol actually does is break down the proteins. And as you can see, it's almost like a stringiness now. That's softening the meat. It's basically meat tenderizer, which will make it rehydrate better. So what we have to do now is put this in the dehydrator. So we've cut parchment paper sheets and put them in the dehydrator trays. And we're going to spread this out super thin. And I love my wife because she's a lot cleaner and nicer. But I'm just going to use my fingers because that's how I do it. And I just kind of thumb it down flat. Now this is going to take probably, I'd guess, 8 to 10 hours to dehydrate just because it's so damp from the alcohol and the seasoning. But you want to push it down nice and thin. As thin as you can get it. And like I said, if you want to make more, because when you're buying this stuff, it almost makes sense to do more at once than what we did. But our freezer over there is pretty much already slammed full of backpacking meals. So until we eat some more down, we have to make smaller portions. Or you can make a bigger portion and just eat them at home. But I'll give you an idea kind of what it'll start to look like. I'm telling you, you want this kind of rolled out as thin as possible with your fingers. The thinner the better, the faster it's going to dehydrate, but that'll give you an idea of what we're doing here. So I'm going to get the rest of this put in here, and then we're going to dehydrate it. I'm going to come back and we'll show you the next step, like getting it bagged up. We'll try it, let you kind of see what it looks like, and I'll also have a price per serving point based on what we spent here, because that seems to be a new thing that everybody likes to know what it costs. But because I bought the stuff, I can pretty much tell you it's probably about a fourth per serving, if not less than a Mountain House meal. So let me get this finished and we'll get back with you once it's done and go over everything. Okay guys, welcome back. So it's been a long day. Yesterday we got this all ready, got it all trayed up. You notice something different here? So our dehydrator finally gave out. Now we've had that dehydrator and we got it used. But I went in and looked at the motor because the fan had stopped spinning. The heat still worked, the fan just stopped working. So I took it apart and looked at the motor, and it's stamped 10 years ago. So 10 years our old dehydrator had been going, and if you know us, we run ours pretty much for like a week and a half, 2 weeks straight during deer season. And then we've got the end of harvest season, we do run it a lot, and then we do our backpacking meals. So it gets run a lot. Now, I always tell everybody, go find you a used one, because like ours, you know, it lasts forever. Well, there's no used ones around us right now. We did find one that's about 20 or 30 miles away for a good price, so we're going to go get that one as a backup. But I went to the store and bought this new. This is a Nesco. And we'll be doing a review on this after I do a little bit more in it, but this thing actually works really good. It's got the top heating element rather than the bottom. So, let's get that out of the way. And I wanted to show you our bourbon chicken is done. Now I already pulled some of it out. That way it could be rehydrating while we're doing this video. So, as you can see, it's fully dehydrated. And then what we're going to do is take baggies and we're going to put minute rice, okay, 2/3 of a cup in a baggie. All right, and then we're going to take it and we're going to break this tray, because it only made one tray. Like I said, we're only making 4 servings, so you break it up inside the baggie just because this will make it rehydrate easier and faster. And what we want to do here is try and break this down in smaller pieces and break this up, which when you're doing it, you'll be breaking it over 4 bags. I'm going to be breaking it over 3 because I've already pulled some out and rehydrated one. What I like to do is take it in my hand, put my hand in the bag, and just crush it up, but you may need to do it different. This thing made the house smell awesome. People were walking in my house today going, what's that smell? Because that bourbon chicken, I mean, it just smells good. And when you rehydrate it, it's even better. So, I think we'll take that, leave that there. Now, I'm using white rice. You could use any kind of rice you want. I've got some other things that needed white rice, so that's just kind of why I picked that kind of white rice. But make sure it's the minute rice kind. Alright, so that would be your finished bag. Alright, you'll mix it up and it'll get thrown around. But you add about a cup to a cup and a quarter into this bag to rehydrate it. Alright, so you can see it. So that's what it looks like. So we're going to put this away because I'll bag up the rest of this later. So we want to get to the fun stuff. Hey. You want to be in the movie? Want to be in the video? Come here. Okay, come here. Alright, sit down. Sit. Stay. So, once again, just to go over, 2 pounds of chicken, brown sugar bourbon seasoning, Lowry's bourbon seasoning, rice, and really, Really? Alcoholic? Really? You drank all my... Really? No, you can't have any more. There's no more. You drank it all. Anyways, if you guys don't know, this is Apollo. He's going to be our taste tester today. Yep, I know, buddy. That is what it looks like. You notice the white rice is not white anymore. The reason it's not white anymore is because that bourbon's let go of some of that flavor. That chicken. Easy. Calm down. Now eat good off the spoon. Eat good off the spoon. Good boy. Good boy. Is that good? So, you can wait your turn. That's awesome. Now I put about a cup of water in this. I think next time I'm gonna put a cup and a quarter. Hey, hey. He's dying for this. They've been smelling it all day. Easy. I know, Molly. I know, Molly. There you go. Good girl. But as you can see, it's just awesome. Once again, here. You're killing me. Once again, this was Kevin Fry's idea. You're okay. He's not usually allowed to eat off the table and dishes. Go ahead. You're fine. You're not doing nothing wrong. Like I said, thanks to Kevin Fry for giving us the idea. It really came out good. Made the house smell good. Obviously, somebody's very happy. Aren't you, buddy? But this is an easy one. Let's do the cost breakdown because everybody wants to know. This was $3. This was $3. This was $1. So, we got to break down the usage because we didn't really barely use any of that. We used a third of that. So let's say that's $1. Let's call that $1 even though it's not. This costs $1. And then the chicken is $2 a pound. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. $7. So 4 servings, so $3.50. $1.25 a serving is what this costs. That's a lot of food. That's a lot of food. You're gonna have let's see, 2/3. So you're gonna have well over a cup, if not a cup and a half of rice with that. That's a big meal. And I'd say you're stuffed, aren't you, fat boy? So yeah, $1.50 depending upon how much rice you put in if you go through all this. But it's just another idea for a backpacking food you guys might like to try. Thanks, Kevin. I want to see you make it now. That's my challenge out. I made it for you. Now I want to see you make it and taste test it. And you're making a mess on the table, buddy. Anyways, I'm Tony and this is Apollo. And we'll see you in the next one.